All right. Okay, so what you always want to do is, make that 0.01 and make his throw time 0.02. Now, when I'm creating a play, again, you should only have to do this. This is like when talking to a client, they should only have to do this one time. And as long as they have a template play, and this is already configured, then they can just create a play from that template every time. Does that make sense?
Well, you're saying go into the, like for example, the formations.
Correct.
You go in there and one time set that for these values.
Exactly.
And it comes up that way each time. Yeah, yeah.
So once that is, I guess, done, this I'll show you what I always do when I create a play. Let's say it's a pass play, and I know I'm going to throw to this guy right here. He's running like that. I don't care necessarily about the values. I just, okay, he has it, he throws it. Center throws it. I click on the quarterback. I set it at a time past the 0.02.
Okay, back up. How did you get the center to throw this ball?
I selected, it's auto, so we'll just start from scratch. So when you load a new play, it auto sets it to catch at the center at 0.10, and I don't know why. I don't know why they chose to do this, but this is what we're going to correct. And then he has it throwing at time 100. Okay? So I manually go in there and I make it 0.01, and then I just manually double click on this and make it 0.02.
All right. Oh, it automatically does it.
Yep. And then let's say he's snapping it to the quarterback and the receiver. I always do the routes of everyone else first, and then what I do is you have to select the player, which watch this time down here when I select that player. I select that player and it goes back to 0. So I need to move the time past 0.02 because you can only catch it after it is thrown. And I don't really care at this point. I don't care what it is. I just want to make sure it's past 0.02. I right click on him and I select catch now. Okay? Again, I still don't care about the time values yet. I know that he's throwing to this guy, and I know that he catches it right up here. So what I do is I click to that point in time, and as long as this number is passed when the quarterback throws, and I just have to set his throwing time, let's say it's 1.75. Okay? I click on the guy, I click where I want him to catch it, and let's say I want him to catch it right here. I have to make sure this number is past 1.75. Catch now. So then I can go back in, and this is where I like to edit. I don't like to edit on the catch nows and within the screen. I like to come here. I know, after doing this enough times, I know that a snap is between a 10th of a second and a 15th of a second. So I'm going to make the quarterback catch it at, we'll do a 13th of a second. So we just said that the ball goes from center to quarterback in that amount of time. Okay?
Okay.
And then we said he's going to throw it at 1.75. So the ball leaves that guy at 1.75, and then he catches it at 2.79. And if I'm okay with that, well, then I just need to add the animations to the individual, and quarterback is almost always the same. I always pull back, and pull back. You have the quarterback stance, and then you typically either have some type of, we'll do a a 3-step drop, a 5-step drop, or a quarterback look. Right now, let's just do quarterback look. I'll show you what that animation is. It always goes from those, mainly those three, into quarterback, pre-throw. He's a righty. He moves quarterback post throw. So if we run through those animations, I can come in here and I can look at, okay, quarterback under center is his stance. Quarterback look, I'll show you what that is the action. The pre-throw is the wind-up. The post-throw is the follow-through. But you'll see, and just because I've played with this enough, I know that the duration of those, that's really fast. That's like really, really fast for the quarterback.
Okay, where does he throw the ball?
What's that?
Where does he throw the ball?
We selected him to throw it to number 11 down here.
But
So
you don't have to program him to throw the ball?
No. That's what the pre-throw and the post-throw.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I know I've done this enough. I know that those are really fast. I'm going to make each of these 1 second. Now, it's not going to time up with the throw of the ball. But if I go back to 2D mode, we told the center to throw to the quarterback and the quarterback to throw to the receiver. Once you have your template made, you typically are going to have these numbers filled in. If it's a shotgun, 0.01, 0.02, and then it's going to be 0.15. If it's just the quarterback's under center, like right here, then that 0.05 will be probably 0.03 because that's immediate. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we just said he throws it, the ball leaves his body at 1.75, and then it goes to the receiver's body at 2.79. So going and looking at just the animations, he gets the ball. This animation right here is the QB look. It's like a QB looking over his left shoulder, looking down the field. Okay? QB look, and then now so he goes from QB look, and then starting here is the pre-throw, which is what we put in here. The pre-throw goes until right here. And then the post-throw is this last animation, and that is the follow-through. That right there. So from the top of the throw to follow-through is the post-throw. Now, again, because I've done this enough, I know that he's throwing it at 1.75, which means this pre-throw, it has to end at, I always like to do a tenth earlier than it is. So I want this to happen. I go to the absolute time, and I want it to happen at 1.65. That automatically adjusts how fast that animation is, and it's going to look as, takes a couple, a little tweaking, but it's going to look a lot more natural. And then if you really want to get picky on timing up, you can just come here, and you can see that's pretty accurate. That's as probably close as we can get until we upgrade it and have the ball in the guy's hand. You can see it leaves the center of mass right when that animation is going through. So what I always do is I assign the ball movement just to the guys I want it to go to. So it always goes from the center to the quarterback, and then the quarterback to either, I'll show you just a basic run play, and I'll just run through it again. Let's say you're going from the center to the quarterback, and then the quarterback is handing it off to this guy right here. So I always come down here, and I set this to 0.01, set this to 0.02. Okay. I click on the quarterback, and then I bring it to something past 0.02, catch now, and then I click on the running back and I just set it to any time past 0.04, what would be 0.04 down here. Manually come in here and I just say 0.05, and then let's say, yeah, that's fine. So again, from the start, I don't, just because I've done this enough, I know that it's easier to go down here and manually put in the time as opposed to trying to time it all up from the get-go. And then what I do is I do the animation that he would run, okay? And I see that right here is when the handoff is happening. And again, because I know I want that animation, I'm going to do action, QB moves, pass, handoff right, I think. And I'm going to make it a little slower so they're basically, it looks like they're almost on top of each other. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, okay, he's going to catch it. He's under center, so he's going to catch it pretty fast. He's going to catch it at 0.3. And then I want him to throw it at right now. So I look down here at 0.66. And then right now, as it stands, the running back is catching it at 1.51. Well, we don't want that. It's a handoff, which is immediate. So I'm going to make it 0.67, and then he keeps it the rest of the way. Now, this is my first time going in 3D mode, so I don't know if it's how accurate it is, but okay, so that's a good example. Right now, something's goofy there because that's different. He's going into a 3-step drop, he's throwing it, and then he's handing it off. You look up here, 5-step drops there. I just want him to run. In fact, I want him to do a slow run. So now when I restart it, it's going to look a little more natural. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, and you know what, it might even be best if I template out. In fact, I'll make a note. Template out runs left and right, pass left and right. So if they buy it, this is already done for them. And that might be a good thing to do, is already time up this stuff for the client. And then I can send that to you guys, and then you can tweak it however you like.
Yeah, now, one thing in working with it myself, and I'm sure this is a passing phase, but at least at the beginning, I have this overwhelming need for the things to run slower than we can run them. And even with a manual button, you know, when you're going between 0.01 and 0.03, and that's a flick of a mouse point.
Yep.
And so and from my own experience in dealing with coaches from a long time ago, they would, like, here's the handoff, and they would back that up now, back it up, do it again.
Yep.
Back it up, you know, over and over and over again.
Yep.
And perhaps it's just getting used to the cursor and stuff like that. It may be able to do this just fine.
Well,
but I found it.
Yeah, you can do it down here, but that's in the upgrades, is to, like, if you had an Xbox controller, you can do it really slow. Like, it goes really, really slow, and you can do that pretty easily. But if you don't have the Xbox controller, we're building it in on just the regular keypad, so you can do it. I think Lloyd wants to do it with the arrows.
No, that's fine. It doesn't make a difference, just somehow.
Yeah, because that's huge. Because if you look at like this, that's exactly what, like, they're going to go, okay, we want to see the different defensive schemes. Okay, stop. All right, quarterback, what are you thinking? These guys turn their backs. Okay, it's a zone coverage. Okay, do it again. Stop. What do you see with this defense? You know, you're exactly right. That's exactly how they teach.
And like if the linemen will line up and you put a particular defensive move on that, and you start the play, and the guy's already shot past off on the left, and you show him that over and over and over again, so you can recognize the tendency. He can read which way he's going to go.
Yep.
And so forth. So okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fair. Because I preface this to everybody that the product is relatively new. We're making improvements all the time, and you're going to see a rapid number of improvements over a short period of time.
Yep.
A large number of improvements over a short period of time. So that doesn't bother me at all. So, but yeah, I think if you could have some basic plays that shows essentially how you program the center and the quarterback, then that's a big step. There's a lot of other stuff, but that's the first thing they asked me the other day. Show me how you do the quarterback.
Yeah,
so
that's.
I fumbled through it, but it wasn't very good.
Well, one thing, what I think, because again, when in the pre-sales process, the biggest things I'd say the biggest things that we're going to want to dispel is that it's hard. That's because, again, it's not a matter of do they want it. It's a matter of is it hard to use. And that's what, I'm doing right now, actually, is adding Nate's plays to the Playbook Store. So when you go to the Playbook Store...
yeah, where do you find Nate's plays?
I'm adding them today, and they're here.
Okay.
So this has... And then when you click on his... Like Nate, like for instance, if you click on that, it brings you here, and I'll pull up. So it gives you an overview of the package, what you can get in the package, a quote from Nate, another package overview, and then an example of the PDF that comes with it. So,
okay.
And then you get it basically walks you through. It gives you a zip file, and then it also gives you directions on where to save it, and then you save those files in the right folder, and they pop up in Sidekick, just like like this is for instance 3-4. This is what they're going to get when they buy Nate's complete play package. That's a lot of plays.
Mm-hmm.
And what you can do, and this has to be kind of demoed to the coach, but because they're going to go, how hard is this? Well, you say, well, as long as you know. Okay, so this is the only bad thing is if we right now, and this is an upgrade feature, but if the play is programmed, like if you want to mix and match the plays, it has to be done at the 50-yard line at the center. And this is something Lloyd is working on. But let's just take Scott Maxfield's, his generic play. So I have this offensive play. And I want to play against one of Nate's defenses. I come here, play 5. Let's do the 3-4 blitzes. So I want to see this specific blitz. Open. And then now it gives me the player route of that blitz as well as, the 3-4 setup. So when I hit 3 or hit play, that's what it looks like. Now, it's a template because each coach is going to have this linebacker do something different, and, you're going to, but I think really push the fact that, hey, you only have to muck through this thing over here once, and it takes 5 minutes. You only have to create an offensive play once, and then you can, once you have it, you can mix and match it against any defense. Same thing with defenses. If I want to bring in, okay, this offensive play, well, I want to bring in a different offensive play against that defense. I come here and let's just click on this. Now it's a different offensive play, but it's the same defense that stayed. So now we're going to see that offensive play against this guy I think was blitzing. So that is something that if you are comfortable with demoing that, that is like, that will blow their minds. The fact that you can mix and match.
Mix and match plays and stuff. Yes, correct. I think as a starting point, having the formations, and you pick a particular defensive formation, a particular offensive formation, and then program them up to whatever play you want to run, how you want that particular play run.
Yep.
And then store it. And then you've got it from now on. So I think the starting point from this is having these formations, so they don't have you've taken having to move all the players around, unless they want to customize it themselves, which they can do.
Right. But exactly. But like I said, like in this, okay, maybe they have their defensive end line up here, and this guy line up out over him. Well, that took me hardly any time to make those changes, where in reality that would take me a lot of time to create.
So, all right, then what I need is you recorded this, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, if you can email this recording, then I can do a little practicing, watching what you did.
Gotcha.